Hi, I'm Slavik with iDrinkCoffee.com. Today I'm presenting the Rocket R9 commercial espresso machine. To present this machine, I'm going to discuss all of its features. I'm going to show you how to program this machine. I'm going to make a few drinks, and we're also going to take a look at the inside of the machine so you can see how well made this machine is. The R9 is a multi-boiler machine, and what that means is that there's individual boilers for each group. Since this is a 3-group machine, I've got 3 boilers, so one for the first, second, and third group. They're 1.9 liters in volume. And then there's a steam boiler, which is 12 liters on the 3-group machine. On a 2-group machine, it's 9 liters, and on the 4-group, it's also 12. It's the same size as the 3-group. The benefit of having multiple boilers in an espresso machine really boils down to temperature stability and control. Each one of these boilers is controlled using a PID, which is a digital thermostat. So you can set the temperature individually for each group. I've got group 1 set at 91, group 2 set at 90, and group 3 set at 89 degrees Celsius. But you can set that to whatever you like. So if you have different coffees, you can extract them at different temperatures if that's your choice. But that's not the only benefit. The PID control gives you extreme temperature stability. So from one shot to another, you're getting the same temperature, which will give you more consistent results. Also, the redundancy of it helps in reliability. Since you have multiple groups, if you have a failure on one group, it's unlikely that a second or third group will be down. It gives you that extra reliability and that redundancy. The machine has 2 steam wands, one on the left and one on the right. And it features lever-style control, which is more ergonomic and easier to use than the knob style. And as you can see, the steam is powerful, and with a 12-liter steam boiler on the 3-group machine, you'll never run out of steam. You can be making coffee all day, every day, with great steaming power. The machine also has a hot water valve, and it can be accessed by pressing the 4th button on any one of the groups. I press this button right here, and it dispenses hot water. The R9 comes standard with a hot water mixing valve, which means that you can mix cold water along with the hot to achieve your desired temperature. A lot of machines are dispensing boiler water, which is incredibly hot, too hot for Americanos, and actually too hot for most teas as well. So here you can set your temperature by using the mixing valve. I'm now going to show you how to program the Rocket R9. The R9 has volumetric dosing, which means it can deliver the same volume of coffee or the same volume of water each time. And there's 2 programmable buttons, your single and your double dose. And to program them is very, very easy. You hold down the P button, you keep it pressed in for about 10 seconds, and then it will begin to flash. And I already have coffee in here. I ground some coffee, and I press my button. I want to program the single button, and it will begin extracting. And once I have enough coffee in my cup, I'm just going to press the button again, and it's going to be saved. You can also see there's a shot timer here. Each machine has an individual shot timer. I'm at about 16, 17 seconds right now, and I'm going to stop it once again I have the correct amount in my cup. I'll probably stop it right around here. Now that button is programmed. If I wanted to program the second button, I can do that as well. I'll also mention at this time that when you program the first group, it copies it over to the other groups, so you have the same setting. However, you can override group 2 and group 3 by setting them individually, so you can actually have independent settings on all 3 groups. Although in most cafes that's not really practical. It really depends on what you're doing. A lot of busy cafes, what they'll do is they'll just have the same programming across each group, but you do have the option. If you want to change it, you certainly can. Like I mentioned earlier, the R9 is a multi-boiler, and we can control the temperature of each boiler. And the way you set the temperature is by pressing the P button and the hot water button together, and that light will come off, and then we can adjust the temperature. We use the single button, or the 1 button, to raise the temperature, and the 2 button in order to lower it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower my temperature on this group down to, let's say, 88.5 degrees. And to save that, I press P, and then the machine will now be set at 88.5 degrees. And I can set each group individually. One other option in the programming of the Rocket R9 is to turn a boiler off. So for example, if you have a slower period or if you want to conserve some energy, each boiler can be individually shut off, and you do that by pressing the P button and the 2 button. So the first and the third button here, and you'll see that it goes to off, and this boiler is now off and not heating. So now let me show you this machine in action. I'm going to make a couple of sets of drinks. I already have my coffee ground and put into the second group, and I have my coffee here. I'll also point out a neat feature which I really like on the R9, and that's the fact that the E61 group has a locking point. There's a blocking mechanism there, so you can't over-tighten the group, which is nice because a lot of times, some people are more heavy-handed than others, and they'll over-tighten, and which wears your gasket faster and also wears the group out. The R9 prevents that little touch, which I really like. So on this side, I'm going to be making my espresso, and on this side, I'm going to make some cappuccinos. I'm just going to press my single button here, my single button there. And while that's happening, I'm also going to froth milk just over here. And you can see preparing 4 drinks, 2 milk-based and 2 espressos is a snap. Now here's a shot of the inside of the machine, and this isn't something that we normally do, but I really wanted to show how well made the Rocket R9 is and how service friendly it is. To get to this point, all I had to do was remove 4 screws. I take 2 screws that hold the top on, and then there's a heat shield underneath that, which also has 2 screws which I removed, exposing the top. And here I can access almost all of the critical systems of the machine very quickly and very easily. I'll point out a few of the features that I really like. There's a shut-off valve for both steam wands. So the one here is for the left, and over here is the one for the right. That's useful if you're working on a hot machine. If you've ever worked on a hot machine, you know how difficult it is. You can shut off the steam, and then you can work on either maintaining or replacing the valve if you need to. One thing that I didn't mention earlier is the boilers. You can see the 3 boilers in this machine right here. These boilers are fully saturated. And what that means is that the boiler and the group all have the same temperature because it's all one piece. You can see this is all one piece. And it's all ASI 304, very high-grade stainless steel construction. Another critical component that frequently you need to access are the flow meters. And the flow meters, again, right here. This is the flow meter for group 1, group 2, and group 3. Very easily accessible. They're right there. The flow restrictors. Flow restrictors are just these brass fittings here. Also very simple. On some machines, accessing the flow restrictor takes a long time. There's one particular machine that's very difficult to do. Over here we have the pressure transducer, and that's what controls the pressure inside the steam boiler. Also, you only have to take off the top in order to get at it. We've got our group solenoids, which are right here. Really, the only repair that you would need to remove the sides for is if you need to access the pump, which is just down here, or if you need to do some work on the service boiler, you would remove the sides. But almost everything is accessible within a minute or 2 minutes by removing the top panel, making this machine very, very service friendly, which is important to any cafe, because if you do have an issue, all espresso machines require maintenance, but if you do have an issue, it can be fixed very quickly. So as we've seen, the Rocket R9 is not only very fully featured, it's also very service friendly. And on top of that, it offers some of the best value available on the commercial market today. You simply cannot find similar machines from other manufacturers at this price point. It really is priced aggressively, and it's a fantastic machine. If you have any questions about starting up a cafe or any sort of coffee service environment, please feel free to reach out to idrinkcoffee.com. We're always happy to help. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this about commercial machines, about domestic machines, coffee grinders, everything to do with coffee. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.